What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. So, for those of you who are joining in who are not on the live stream, but you are on the replay of this live question and answer, go ahead and skip forward to minute about 5 or 6 because I'm going to be kind of making sure that all the audio and video is all good. So, if you are joining in on the replay right now, skip to minute 5 or 6 so that you can go ahead and start seeing the content of this video. Josher, what's up? Soviet Clutch, what's up? Katie, what's up? Andrew, Mario, what's up? So guys, I know I didn't tell anybody that I was going to go live this morning, but the reason I am is because there was actually like my engine in my car. It seems like I can't catch a break, but my engine in my car ended up um, there was like a warranty recall sort of thing on it, and then something went wrong, and so now I had to tow it to the dealership and all this sort of stuff. So I'm not detailing today because my car is being fixed, and hopefully my engine is still under warranty so that I don't have to pay anything. But what's going on, everybody? If you're joining in on the live stream right now, go ahead and say what's up. And why don't you tell me where you are watching from? Javier, buenos dias, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo dormiste? Green Hornet, what's up? Luis Hernandez, what's up? Callus Auto Detailing, Katie Brown, um, Corkin Maserati, Daniel Rocha, Jordan McGrath, Andrew, let's see here, Perez, Knoxville, let's see. Um, so anyways, guys, what I'd like to do this morning is I'd like to do a Q&A for everybody who's on here so that you guys can get questions answered in the summertime because it's the summertime now, officially. I think that a lot of people have more time to kind of build their detailing business because in the summertime, naturally, people want more detail oriented business for their cars. When like the weather warms up, people want details. And then it's a perfect time to build your business because a lot of times people are out of school or you have more time on your hands, just, things like that. And so I think this summer, what I'd like to do is do a live stream every week to 2 weeks where I just answer y'all's questions because it's a great place where you can literally ask questions right in the live chat. There's not a ton of people on. So like there's like 25 people on right now, maybe like 30. And so sometimes a lot of times when I do live streams at night, there's more like 70 to 80 people on. So times like this, it's a few people, you can ask plenty of questions, and pretty much I can basically answer everyone's questions here. But before I answer questions, what I'd like to start out with, I have been getting a lot of questions about summer discounts and summer deals, sort of in a way to grow your detailing business to offer something that's attractive to people because when people feel like they're getting a deal, they're more likely to buy. So I think that summer detailing discounts is a great idea. And so what I wanted to share with you guys is kind of how I go about giving discounts so that I can share with you my experience so you guys can kind of have a foundation or something to kind of decide how you might want to do that. So we got people here from Petersburg, Florida, from Chicago, from Oakland, Maryland, from Louisiana, California, Washington, D.C., all sorts of places. So here's how I go about giving discounts, guys. A lot of times I give discounts on Mother's Day and I give discounts on like Father's Day, special occasions like that. Darian, what's up? So here's how I go about giving discounts in the detailing world because each situation is so different. I would consider it sort of a dangerous move to give just an overall general discount on everybody that's kind of the same for everyone, meaning like I would never personally say, for the next week, we're doing exterior details on all cars for $35. I don't think that's a good idea just because though you might get a lot of people, you might be working yourself to death and actually not really factoring in the time you're spending, the effort you're spending, and the product you're spending. And you might not actually be making as much money as you think you are. And by and large, because every situation in the detailing world is so unique and so different, I don't think it's a good idea to paint this broad kind of brush stroke and make every price the same and call that a deal. So here's specifically how I do it. I normally, without fail, do a discount by percentage. So for example, if I was doing a Mother's Day discount, this is an example of what I would do. 10% off all Mother's Day details between May 5th and May, 17th, whatever. And anybody who calls to get their wife or girlfriend or whatever car detailed, they get 10% off, but I still have the same conversation that I have with all of my clients with that person beforehand to figure out the condition of their car, the what I'm going to have to do, how much time it's going to take me, how much effort I'm going to have to put in, and then I give them a range quote, and then whatever I end up charging them at the end, when I get done, between in that range, I take 10% off of that. So that way, I am not over promising and then failing to deliver on something. Because if I were to tell them over the phone, yeah, the deal is $100 interior, exterior detail. But if I get there and the car is trashed, I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my product, and I'm really not making any money. So, what I would suggest for you guys is that if you are doing a discount for the summer to gain more clientele, I do think it's a good idea. But do a percentage, because that way you are not losing money and losing time. It's much easier to gauge what you're doing when you do a percentage. So I hope that makes sense. Callus Auto Detailing said, great idea doing a percentage. DTR said, what's up? Courtney Tipton said, this is great content. Do you have flyers with your discounts listed? What a great question, Courtney. Do you have flyers with your discounts listed? And by the way, for those of you who are in the live stream right now, go ahead and follow Courtney Tipton's lead, and any question you have of anything in the detailing world, put it in the live chat so that after I answer Courtney's question, I can answer your questions. Okay? So, Courtney Tipton, do you have flyers with your discounts listed? Well, I think that's a great idea. If you are a detailer who doesn't have a very strong internet presence, maybe you don't have a website, maybe that's not something you've invested in yet. If it's not, I suggest you do. And I have an entire playlist on my channel called SEO, website building, blah, blah, blah. Check that out if you haven't seen it. But if you do not have a website, I would say that going into the summer, having 1,000 flyers with your discount or with your information or whatever, and hitting 1,000 houses is a fantastic idea, because how else are you going to get business if you don't have a website? Word of mouth is one thing, but for example, what I did when I was younger and wasn't quite as internet savvy, I literally would hit like 1,500 houses with flyers in one weekend. So I was like going for it. So flyers with a discount is a great idea. And if you're doing flyers, by the way, I always suggest to people you should knock on people's door rather than just leaving it in their door. And I know that's more uncomfortable for people to do, but it's a lot more fruitful. So, yes. Okay, Daniel Rocha says, what's the best shampoo to use as a professional detailer? Like for the price, quantity, quality, most uses out of it, etc. Well, since I'm doing this live stream on my computer, why don't I take you to Amazon and show you guys the exact shampoo that I use? How about that? So let's go to Amazon.com. So as far as carpet shampoos, I actually do not use a dedicated carpet shampoo. When I am cleaning carpets, I use one of two different cleaners every single time. This is Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner. It is diluted 10-1 in my detailing world. I use this diluted 10-1 to clean carpets. It yields incredible results. Let's look at the other cleaner I use for dirtier jobs. So as a rule, for less dirty jobs, I use Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner. For more dirty jobs, I use Super Clean. It is a degreaser and it is fantastic and it is incredibly priced. Now, it is $30 on Amazon. At Walmart, it's like $9. Okay, so I would suggest getting this from Walmart. All right, I dilute this professionally 5-1. Now, quick disclaimer. Let's see. How do I say this? For some carpet shampooing jobs, let me explain what I do. Yes, I use Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner. Yes, I use Super Clean. But with specific stains that are very difficult to remove, I will use, let me take you guys to it. I will use a product called, I'm searching it, called Rapid Remover. This product is an adhesive remover. In fact, it says adhesive remover on the bottle. So this is for when you remove stickers, when you remove vinyl decals, when you remove car emblems. This removes the residue, the sticky residue underneath. However, Rapid Remover also works as an incredible stain remover in the carpets. The only thing you have to be careful of is the fact that Rapid Remover can kind of burn through plastic pieces if you are not careful. So when I'm spraying it on carpet stains, I'm very careful to not get any overspray onto plastic pieces. Corkin Maserati says, "What's the best cleaner to strip wax, bro? Is Clean Slate from Chemical Guys any good? What's the best cleaner to strip wax?" This is a great question because in the detailing world, and especially Chemical Guys in particular, do I like Chemical Guys? Yes, I do. Do they have some great products? Yes, they do. But the company Chemical Guys is a really good example of a company that, in my opinion, tries to separate you from your money at every level. Because if you'll see, Chemical Guys has a product for everything. I mean, like they have a product for tan carpets, for black plastic, for dirty leather, for clean leather. It's like there are things in the detailing world that can be simplified. And so, as far as stripping wax off of cars, what I use is a 50-50 solution of distilled water and alcohol, rubbing alcohol. That strips any sealant off, it strips any wax off. And yes, you can use a product like Clean Slate, but let's look at this. Clean Slate is, let's just look it up to humor us. Let's see here. Clean Slate, Chemical Guys. $8.49 for a 16-ounce bottle. Well, if you ask me, a 16-ounce bottle is something that I would go through in 2 cars, okay? Whereas I can use alcohol and distilled water and 50-50 solution, get much more for my money, and I would probably argue that it works better because I know the kind of results it's going to give. JB, do you buy products in bulk and where do you get them from? It depends on the product. I buy a lot of microfiber towels in bulk. Um, these specific yellow microfiber towels are from Costco. I like these because these I use on higher end vehicles because they are totally new, and these microfiber towels have never touched anything. So with like nice, I don't know, Lamborghinis, Teslas, even BMWs, Mercedes, these are totally safe and there's no minerals, they've never been washed. And so like I buy these in bulk because I go through a lot of them. They're disposable to a point, if you ask me. But other products, I don't know that I would say I buy them in bulk. I'm trying to figure out how to buy distilled water in bulk the best way because I buy a lot of distilled water. But the truth is, in the detailing world, a lot of the products you buy are concentrates, so they're diluted with water anyways, so they last a long time even though you're not buying them in bulk. Frank McFarlane asked a very good question. What do you think of ozone machines? For those of you who don't know what ozone machines are, a lot of ozone machines in the detailing world are used for things like smoke removal, smoke smell removal. An ozone machine is what I would call a very serious luxury. Let's look them up on Amazon, actually. Let's see what we can find just to kind of explain my point. Ozone generator, ozone machine, we'll put auto detailing. um, so let's see. Honestly, for a good one, you're going to be looking at around $700, $700 to like $900. Of course, they can get up above $1,000 as well. But like, I wouldn't buy. I don't know that I would buy something like this. I feel like it's just too cheaply made. So this is one by Detail King. Basically, what they do. Well, we can read it right here. Actually, high output gets the job done quickly and thoroughly. Our ozone generator will remove the odors caused by mold and mildew. A quick ozone shock treatment can turn a smoking room into a non-smoking room. So the whole idea of ozone generators are that they, more often than not, they do a few other things, but by and large, they remove smells, milk spill smells, smoke smells. Um, I have figured out how to do all of that without having an ozone machine. And so it's just not something I use. I think it's more of a luxury. There are other ways to get it done just as simply, if you ask me. I just don't think it's a big necessity. Darian Hackman says, got a question for you. I had a lot of business the first few weeks, but now I get literally 4 to 5 messages a week and close maybe one. Any tips? Customer acquiring customers, I tell people, ought to be your number one focus in your business, because your number one focus should not even be what products do I use, what tools do I use. Like, even above that is customer relationship, getting customers, because without customers you have no business. So it has to be your priority. So it's a good question, Darian. What I would say is that, number one, if you're not online, getting customers is more of a challenge. And number two, even if you are online, in the detailing world, and when you're an entrepreneur and you run a sort of business that's dependent on customers like this, there are like ebbs and flows. There are weeks when I get 30 calls, there are weeks when I get 60 calls, there are weeks when I get less than that. And so my main focus in my detailing business when it comes to customers is, what can I do to turn every customer I have into a maintenance client? Because you want to set up your business where you have as much regular business as possible. At least that's what I have done, because that is where I believe the most profitable service is at, and it's a lot of job security. So my question to you is, what can you be doing right now to cause your one-off customers to become repeat customers? Get creative. Dane Waldrop says, what tire shine do you like to use? Well, Dane, it's a good question, and I'm actually posting a video today at 5 o'clock on that exactly. But I like to use Chemical Guys VRP, and I love Stoner More Shine Tire Shine. Zyrus Vance says, I have a question. Do I really need to dilute APC for interior cleaning, and why? Yes. All-purpose cleaner, if it's a concentrate, can damage a lot of surface, can like damage leather, for example, if it's not diluted, and it's left on the paint for any amount of time, or it's left on the leather for any sort of extended period of time. It can damage certain plastics. So yes, it needs to be diluted for safety reasons, and just economically, there's no point in not diluting it, because the cleaning power that you need to clean the interior of a car is going to be met with diluted all-purpose cleaner. So why would you use more of your product and waste it when you don't need to? Callus Auto Detailing. I've been in business 28 years and I'm still seeing and learning new things. I see something new by what customers do to their vehicle every day. So much technology nowadays too. Yeah, agreed. There's so much new happening in the detailing world. It's such a changing thing. There's always so many advances, so it's very difficult to. It's like just when you feel like you got it figured out, something else changes. Um, Miguel Ramirez says, "What product do you recommend to use in the interior of the truck that doesn't leave it so shiny and it gives it more of a natural look?" Allow me to share my screen and show you some products that I suggest. So, some products that you can finish with when you're detailing. I love Meguiar's Quick Interior Detailer. It is a very inexpensive product. You can get it at your local AutoZone, whatever, or you can buy it in bulk on Amazon. This is a great product to finish interiors with. It does not leave a shine. I mean, it leaves a very subtle shine, but it's not greasy, it's not overly shiny. It really just adds a good smell and it knocks the dust off and it adds a little bit of a layer of protection. The other thing I would use if you don't want overly shiny things is going to be Meguiar's Synthetic Express Spray Wax, because this can be used on the interior as well as a protectant, and it is not going to leave any sort of shine. The only other thing, if you want, what I would say is if you want a little bit of a shine, you definitely want the black to be shiny, but you don't want it to be overly shiny, is Chemical Guy's VRP is a dressing that can be used on the tires, it can be used on the engine, it can be used on the interior, leather, plastics, all that sort of stuff, as you can see. And rather than using this stuff full strength, you can dilute it with water because it's water soluble, and you can spray that on a microfiber towel and dress it because if you dilute it with water, obviously it's going to knock down the shine. So that's another great way to do that. Daniel Rocha says, best product to clean interior and your favorite wheel cleaner as a professional detailer. Best two products to clean interior cars. Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, super clean degreaser. Favorite wheel cleaner, Meguiar's wheel brightener. It's an acid cleaner, reacts with the brake dust very well. This is a good question. How many times do you use the Costco microfiber towels before throwing them away? Depends, because each towel is used differently. So there's some that I throw away after using it twice. There's some that I throw away after using it probably, 7 or 8 times, washing it 7 or 8 times. There's some that I don't throw away till, washing like 10 times because I use them for such light cleaning on some cars that they just stay in really good shape. So somewhere between 1 and 10, depending on the situation. Mario asks, would it be a good idea to put a grit guard inside of a bucket with ONR? Notice that no ONR uses on YouTube mention it. Oh, okay. Yeah, a grit guard inside of a bucket full of Optimum No Rinse would be a good idea. Yes. Ryan Ankrum said, I'm booked out over a month right now. How do you go about finding employees? I lose a decent amount of customers due to not wanting to wait. Well, Ryan, that is a good problem to have. So number one, be encouraged, because when you have too much business, yes, it's a problem, but that's a good problem. So how do you go about finding employees? Try Indeed.com. Literally spelt exactly like it sounds. Indeed.com. Bam. Indeed.com. You can post a listing there, and it actually works very well. Okay. Courtney Tipton said, do you work out? To be better at detailing? Yes. Yes, I do. It's a good idea because detailing is hard labor. For those of you who don't know, Courtney Tipton is my fiance. And sometimes she gets on these live streams to make comments because it always distracts me. Okay, so, oh gosh, that's funny. Okay, uh, okay, Dominique Alvarado says, how do you handle customers who try to flake after you started cleaning? I do not have that issue because I give them a time frame over the phone. So I can't say I've ever had a customer want to take their car while I was cleaning it. Francisco Juarez says, Hola, Luke. Do you need a license and insurance for auto detailing? Do you need a business license? If you're making a good amount of money, yes, because you need to pay taxes. Um, Insurance, people have different opinions. I do not think that insurance is necessary unless you are hiring employees, in which case, liability, workers' comp, things like that are probably a good idea to keep you safe. What do you use on rubber mats to clean and restore their color? I use degreaser to clean them as far as like Purple Power, Super Clean. I go in between different degreasers. To restore their color, dressing rubber floor mats can be dangerous actually because if your dressing gets wet, yes, it looks good because it makes them black. But if it gets wet, the customer's foot can slip on the rubber floor mat and hit the gas or hit the brake. And so dressing rubber floor mats is not a good idea by and large. Bradley Manning, what's up? Um, Auto King Detail says, what do you think about the International Detailing Association certification? Personally, I have never seen the point of getting certified as an auto detailer. In 7 years, actually in like 8 years of auto detailing, I have never had a customer say, are you a certified auto detailer? Never. Zyrus Vance says, thank you, Wilson. You instantly became my mentor. I appreciate everything you do. Man, I appreciate you being involved. Okay, let's see. Windows, Windows, Windows. Please help. They really kick my butt, especially in direct sunlight. How do you tackle windows? I'm actually doing some experimenting right now with steam cleaning windows and trying to figure out the best strategy in doing that. But windows, the reason you're probably having issues is because windows have to be prepared before you use any sort of window shine or anything like that. And so what I use to prepare windows is a 50-50 solution of distilled water and rubbing alcohol. And you can spray that on the window, then use a magic eraser to kind of work it into the window and then mop it up with a towel. And then after you've done that, on the interior window, then you can follow up with a window shine. On the exterior, you need to clay it and then shine it. But once again, windows, most people have issues with windows because they have to be prepared correctly. And the truth is, windows take a little while. Like to get right, windows take a little bit of time to make sure you inspect your work, make sure there's no streaks left. Windows are something I have to constantly like re-look at and make sure there's no streaks. Okay, Prestige Mobile Auto Detailing. What do you think of the Works Hydro Shot 40 volt? You know, I've got a lot of questions about that. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to go. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's talk about this because this has been a question amongst that a lot of people have had. This sort of thing. Look at the model they have for this. Okay, anyways, It's always funny. This sort of thing, I think, it depends on your world of detailing. Do you need this? Is this a necessity? Well, maybe not. If you're constantly doing Jeeps like this that are hammered and you don't have room to carry a pressure washer, or you don't want to carry a bunch of gasoline around with you if you want to use a gas powered pressure washer, is this something you might want to invest in? Yeah. Now, how well does it work? That's my question because, for example, like it has 3 stars on Amazon. So, what I have found by and large is that products like this, people tend to have too high of expectations. And what I mean by that is just like people expect that to get that product in the mail and for it to be like 5,000 psi. And then they use it and they're like disappointed. Products like that can only have so much power, okay? Like, let's just call it like it is. What does it say, actually? It says 320 psi. So my question is just, is 320 psi gonna really make that big of a difference in your world? You know, it's like, I don't know, like most pressure washers, electric or gasoline, like start at like 1800. I mean, maybe 1500, but you understand what I'm saying. Like a minimum of like 5 times that. So is using your hose and using that gonna be that much of a difference? I'm not sold on it, but once again, that's my opinion. Frank McFarland just super chatted me $4.99. Frank, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. He said, thanks for your time and great info. Frank, thank you for being involved here. You've been here from like the beginning. I so appreciate people like you being involved. How do you get rid of water spots? That's a good question. Let me break down water spots for you real fast because this is actually a fantastic question. Water spots come in basically two shapes and sizes. It's more detailed than that, but to make it simple, you have 2 routes. Water spots that have not etched into the clear coat and water spots that have etched into the clear coat. Water spots form because inside of non-distilled water, like hose water, there's minerals. So that water gets onto the paint. It doesn't get dried off. It gets dried from the sun. The sun evaporates the water, and the minerals are left behind on the paint. If those minerals, and that's what looks like the spot. If those minerals are left there to sit for a long period of time and kind of bake in the sun, more or less, they will etch into the clear coat and imprint into the clear coat. If that happens, no amount of cleaning is going to fix it. You have to wet sand and polish the clear coat at that point, okay? If you catch the water spots early and they can be removed, a great product to remove them is Meguiar's Wheel Brightener diluted. I dilute it 5-to-1 because the acidic nature of the acidic nature of that cleaner reacts with the minerals on the car, on the water spot, and cleans it off like that. It's quick, easy, simple. But if they don't come off with that, more than likely it's beneath the clear coat. And you're going to have to take polishing measures, wet sanding, depending on how bad it is. Bam. Water spots 101. Okay. Valrico Extremo Full Service Mobile Detailing. That's quite a name. Says, if I could take it back, I would. The Hydro Shot is a great idea, but poor performance. So there you go. Clinton Hiley says, pardon my ignorance, but how much is 5-to-1? When you're talking about dilution ratios, when somebody says 5-to-1 or 10-to-1 or 9-to-1, it just means whatever measurement you're using For example, in America, we use ounces rather than liters, things like that. So ounces, if I say 5 to 1 in ounces, for every 5 ounces of water, you use 1 ounce of cleaner. So for every 10 ounces of water, you use 2 ounces of cleaner. For every 20 ounces of water, you use 4 ounces of cleaner if it's 5 to 1. If that makes sense. So tell me if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I don't mean to confuse you, but yes. Ryan Ankrum just super chatted me $20. Can't thank you enough for all of the knowledge you give out. Ryan, thank you so much. It's difficult to express how grateful I am through a screen, but I am very grateful because without you, this channel would not exist and it wouldn't happen. So I'm just as grateful as you guys in all of this. So Ryan, thank you so much. Like, it is a serious encouragement to me with you being here. James Ennis, do you clay the whole car when you're not doing paint correction? This is a good question because a lot of people ask this. For some reason, some people have this misconception that unless you're going to do paint correction, you shouldn't clay the car. That's not true. There are times when the paint is in such bad condition, it's so dirty that you're not even going to be able to wax it unless you clay it. So sometimes there's so many surface contaminants that unless you clay it, it would be like trying to apply what I call wax to sandpaper and then wipe it off. It doesn't work. So you do not have to polish a car after you get done claying it. That's just not true. Does a clay bar abrade the paint at a microscopic level? Yes, but so does washing it. So once again, you get into that argument of, micro scratching, not micro scratching, reducing scratching. Like, it's just an endless rabbit hole, okay? Let's see. What do you think about the Karcher My Series vacuum cleaners? I can't say I even know what you're talking about, so why don't we just go to Amazon and look it up right now? Let's see what we got. Here we go. $300, 1,000 watt. Well, sounds powerful, but once again, I've never used it, so I really can't speak on this very much. But once again, vacuums probably don't need to be overthought. But for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of the rigid 4-gallon shop vac. I think it's extremely portable. I think it's extremely economical, and it's more than enough power than what I need. And so I would say this, if you have not bought this, would be a very good idea for you, simply because the results it yields is incredible. Let's see here. Katie Brown, do you clean seatbelts? Yes and no. How do I explain this? Number one, seatbelts are extremely difficult to clean, okay, if they're super dirty. So you need to set a certain level of expectation for those. Number two, not a lot of seatbelts that I've found are extremely dirty. So I will steam clean them and wipe them down. It's not an area where I spend a lot of time, okay? Um, Unless, of course, you're doing smoke removal, in which case you have to think about everything like seatbelts. Auto King Detail says, what can you do when bug etchings have damaged the clear coat? Polish and wet sand, okay? And actually, it's the other way around. Wet sand and polish. But what I find is that a lot of the front bumper where the bug etchings are is so damaged in the first place that the amount of wet sanding and polishing it would take is so intense, customers don't want it. They don't want to pay. Josh Lewis said he picked up the rigid 4-gallon shop vac last week and it is The best. Yes, it is the best. Hey guys, while you guys are on here and I'm answering your questions, let me explain this to you real fast. For those of you who are wondering and who watch my videos, in the final part of all my videos, I say, and if you would like to purchase anything used in this video, just use the Amazon links below in the description box below this video, because if you use my links, it does give me a very small commission, but it helps this channel stay alive. What that means is I have Amazon links to all of my tools and products and anything I use in any videos. And if you are going to buy any of that off of Amazon for your own detailing world, use my links in my description boxes below my videos, because when you do, it changes nothing for you. The price doesn't change, the effort doesn't, like nothing changes for you. All it does is it gives my channel a small commission. So it's just like a little kickback for me for doing all these videos. So there's no, like, you lose nothing. You know what I mean? So like there's no point in not doing it. So on these live streams, I always like to ask for you guys to use my links. And also, just so you know, even if you don't buy the detailing stuff off Amazon, if you do any shopping for anything whatsoever on Amazon, even a television or a couch or food, whatever, if you go through my links, it still gives me a kickback. It still gives me a commission for that, even if you don't buy the product I'm suggesting. So though when you click my links, it brings you to a specific product, you can just click out of that and search whatever you want. And as long as you got to Amazon through my links, I get credit for anything you buy. So if any of you are out there on this live stream and you would like to say, how do I give back for, anything? It changes nothing for you, and if anything, it might be easier on you because it takes you right to what you're looking for. So if you guys want to give back in any way without losing no sweat off your back, use my Amazon links to do any Amazon shopping. It would help me a lot for putting out all this content. So here we go. Washington Correa said, "What do you think about the Flex XC3401 dual action polisher?" It's good. It's great. I think it's a great dual action polisher. There's not really a lot to say about it other than it's great. Like it's a little. I would call that polisher like higher end. It's not like an entry level dual action polisher. It's great. Brendan Caldwell said, "Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, Luke." Absolutely. Mark Kraus says, "Do you think Expel film is going to take over coatings?" No, I do not. I think ceramic coatings have the victory. But that's just my opinion. T&D Auto Spa. When are you going to make some videos on ceramic coatings? T&D Auto Spa. That is a great question. I actually have a ceramic coating that I am doing next week. So next week. Ryan Ankrum, do you go to college along with detailing? Yes, I do. But it's summertime now, so no, I don't. I have 1 year left. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys like this live subscriber Q&A. I hope it helped you guys. Once again, if you guys are interested in, helping me out at all, then use my Amazon links to do any Amazon shopping that you do. It'll help me a ton, more than you know. Even though it's very small, it still helps. And Frank says, "How's the wedding planning going?" The wedding planning is great. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off and leave you guys be, and we'll go ahead and plan to do like a live Q&A during the summer, probably like every 2 weeks. So guys, if you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel, consider subscribing, because I come out with videos all the time just like this on products, tools, strategies, communication skills, business skills, and so much more, all in an effort to help the pro detailers become more successful and profitable in your businesses. And on this channel, I share the same strategies that turned my auto detailing business into a full-time income with only part-time hours. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.